Imagine waking up one day and realizing your workplace has suddenly turned into the biggest traveling circus in the history of sports. Empty seats are gone. Quiet arenas are replaced with deafening roars from 18,000 screaming fans. And every road trip now includes charter flights, heavy security, paparazzi at every hotel, and endless media debates on national television. Welcome to the new reality of the Indiana Fever. Welcome to the madness known as the Caitlin Clark effect, driven by the arrival of Caitlin Clark. But while most of the world's attention is focused entirely on Clark, there is a much deeper story unfolding behind the scenes. What is it actually like to share a locker room, share the court, and handle the immense pressure that comes with playing alongside a generational basketball icon? We have heard the media narratives, the critics on social media, and the analysts on television, but we rarely hear the unfiltered truth from the players who live this reality every single day. Now, that perspective is finally coming out, as Lexie Hull, one of the Fever's key players and one of Caitlin Clark's closest teammates, has spoken openly about the harsh reality of the Clark effect, the narrative surrounding the league, and her commitment to Indiana, revealing a side of this historic team that many people have completely overlooked.
Hull's out there on that court at all times. Lexie Hull took to Sophie Cunningham's Show Me Something podcast, and she addressed the truth about being a part of Caitlin Clark's team, and make no mistake about it, Lexie Hull wants to stay. Lexie Hull wants to stay, guys. She does not want to go anywhere. She is looking to return to Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. We got to break this whole thing.
To fully understand the weight of Lexie Hull's words, you have to go back and look at where the Indiana Fever were before 2024. 4 years. The franchise was stuck in a difficult rebuild, struggling near the bottom of the league with little national attention. Hull, drafted 6th overall in 2022 out of Stanford, brought a championship mindset to a team searching for identity, but the transition to the professional level was far from easy. 2 challenging seasons. She and her teammates competed hard but saw limited success, largely going unnoticed by the broader basketball world. Then everything changed. The Fever landed Aliyah Boston, giving them a dominant presence in the paint. And soon after, the arrival of Caitlin Clark transformed the franchise overnight. What was once a forgotten team suddenly became the center of the sports world. The shift was rapid and overwhelming, bringing intense scrutiny where every missed shot, every foul involving Clark, and every coaching decision was analyzed by millions of new fans. Sold-out arenas and increased visibility might look glamorous from the outside, but the mental pressure of constantly being under that level of attention is immense. The players were no longer just competing in games. They were part of a global spotlight and cultural movement. Yet instead of crumbling under that pressure, Lexie Hull adapted and elevated her game, turning the spotlight into motivation and proving she could thrive in one of the most intense environments in professional sports.
2,000 people in an empty gym to now every game is sold out at 18,000 plus every single night, home and away. That is a big, big change. Lexie Hull felt that change immediately.
It might be. It might be. Yeah. But it's like, that's hard. I think like once you start winning and once more people start showing up, like your experience changes.
In modern basketball, there is a concept known as offensive gravity, the ability of a superstar to pull defenders toward them and change the entire shape of the floor. Players like Stephen Curry and LeBron James have this effect. And the moment Caitlin Clark stepped onto a WNBA court, she brought one of the strongest examples of it the league had ever seen. Defenses were terrified of a deep shooting range, often guarding her the full length of the court, trapping her in pick-and-roll situations, and sending double teams as soon as she crossed half-court. Basketball is ultimately a numbers game. When 2 defenders attack the ball handler, someone else is left open. But being open and actually converting those opportunities are very different things. Early in the season, the Indiana Fever struggled with spacing as opponents dared their role players to shoot while packing the paint to stop Aliyah Boston and trapping Clark on perimeter. The team needed a reliable pressure release on the wing, and that's where Lexie Hull stepped in. Using the basketball IQ she developed under legendary Stanford coach Tara Vandervee, Hull quickly understood how to play alongside Clark, running hard in transition, relocating to the corners when Clark attacked the paint, and always being ready to shoot. She embraced the role of a true 3-and-D player, taking on tough defensive assignments, fighting through screens, disrupting passing lanes, and sacrificing her body for loose balls, while also becoming one of the team's most efficient three-point shooters. As Hull began consistently punishing defenses for double-teaming Clark, the entire geometry of the court opened up for the Fever offense. But the chemistry between Hull and Clark was not just built during games. According to Hull, the most important part of the Caitlin Clark effect actually happens away from the cameras, when the lights go off and the real team chemistry is built behind the scenes.
Their thing, but when you have players that are going to go take the charge, like, you're just so tough, and they're just like, people appreciate it. And when you have sold out crowds everywhere you go, it's just appreciated, and it feels good as players.
Now, let's be real here. Will anybody be checking for Lexie Hull had she not been Caitlin Clark's teammate? Now, we love Lexie Hull. We want her here to stay. But that goes to show the value.
If you only listen to daytime sports media, you might assume the Indiana Fever locker room was full of jealousy, resentment, and division throughout the season. Many commentators and clickbait stories tried to push the narrative that veteran players were unhappy with the attention surrounding Caitlin Clark, and that the rookies and veterans were divided. But if you actually watch the team closely, their body language on the bench, their interactions off the court, and how they supported each other during games, a very different reality appeared. According to Lexie Hull, much of the negative narrative was exaggerated or completely fabricated. Hull and Clark developed a strong friendship that became an emotional foundation for the team, spending time together on road trips, appearing in social media videos together, and supporting each other throughout a season filled with intense national attention and constant pressure. While media debates focus on controversy and drama, the players inside the locker room were focused on building trust, chemistry, and unity, understanding that no team can win a championship if the locker room is divided.
I wanted to reach for, and I feel like now with the social media and just even like TV and the accessibility for people, like they see us and they can actually like have these dreams so much earlier. And to be one of those people is really special.
She going to games. Let's be real. Lexie Hull's first however many years in the league prior to Caitlin getting there, do you think she ever looked in the stands and saw anybody wearing a number 10 Lexie Hull jersey that wasn't a family member? No.
Lexie Hull saw firsthand the physical punishment that Caitlin Clark was taking on the court night after night, the hard fouls, the aggressive defense, and the physical play clearly designed to challenge and intimidate the rookie. Hull's response was immediate. She became the team's protector and emotional enforcer. Whenever Clark was knocked down or targeted physically, Hull was often the first teammate to step in, the first to help her up, and the first to defend her. She wasn't just standing up for a teammate. She was protecting the future of the Indiana Fever. Her willingness to do the physical, difficult, and often overlooked work helped quiet many of the negative narratives surrounding the team and showed that the so-called Caitlin Clark effect was not about one player overshadowing everyone else, but about an entire team rising together during a historic moment for the league. By the end of a record-breaking season filled with huge television ratings and sold-out arenas, the Indiana Fever had firmly established themselves as a serious team on the national stage and a legitimate playoff contender. However, success in professional sports always brings new challenges, and the WNBA offseason is known for being unpredictable, with free agency, expansion drafts, overseas contracts, and new leagues constantly reshaping team rosters. After her breakout season, Lexie Hull suddenly became extremely valuable around the league, as every contender wanted a perimeter defender who can guard top players and shoot over 40% from three-point range. The big question then became whether she would leave for a bigger opportunity or stay in Indiana, and her answer would ultimately show just how loyal she was to the team and the direction of the franchise.
It's super important, guys. I know, listen, man, I know they want to keep Kelsey, but look, long term, we could keep Tres Leches together with Aliyah Boston. I'm all in, man. I'm all in, man. Lexie Hull, nothing but glowing things to say about being a part of this Indiana Fever team and organization, especially with the upgrades and the changes since the arrival of the GOAT, Caitlin Clark. She wants to run it back. Make no mistake about it. Give Lexie Hull a 3-year deal. We want to keep her.
Returning to the Indiana Fever was not just a routine decision for Lexie Hull. It was a powerful statement. It sent a clear message to the rest of the league that the work in Indiana is far from finished. Hull isn't coming back just to ride the momentum created by Caitlin Clark. She's returning to help complete what this core group started. And when you look at that core, It's easy to see why it's so dangerous. The dominant interior force of Aliyah Boston, the explosive scoring ability of Kelsey Mitchell, Clark's elite playmaking and shooting, and Hull's role as a defensive anchor and perimeter glue. This is no longer just a promising young team. It's a battle-tested group with a very high ceiling. Hull understands that the chemistry they built under the intense spotlight of last season cannot easily be recreated elsewhere. They've already gone through the toughest phase, learning how to perform under pressure, handle constant media attention, and compete on the biggest stage. Now, the focus shifts to chasing a championship. Her honesty also cuts through the noise and reminds everyone that behind the headlines and viral moments are real athletes navigating a historic moment in the sport. The Caitlin Clark effect has transformed the WNBA by bringing unprecedented attention, money, and pressure, but it has also revealed the character of the players around her. Hull could have faded into the background, but instead she stepped into the spotlight, embraced her role, and proved that the Fever are far from a one-player team. They are a united, driven group ready to compete at the highest level, and as the future approaches, one thing is clear. With Caitlin Clark leading the offense and Lexie Hull ready on the perimeter, the Indiana Fever are only just beginning their rise.